Will 2021 be just like 2020? Not if we don't let it be. Much of the struggle that has been 2020 was beyond our control, but that doesn't mean we can't learn from and adapt to the changes we experienced in 2020 to make for a better 2021. Last week we shared with you 5 church practices to lean into in 2021 as we grow and adapt to what 2020 has taught us, and today we have 5 more for you. My name is Sammy, and I'm here with Digivangelism, Digi for short, and every week, every Tuesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, we share with you another video highlighting with you some digital ministry tips and trends to make sure that you reach people online with the love of Jesus. Don't miss out on the biggest opportunity to share that love of Jesus yet. If that sounds of interest to you or your church, please subscribe below so you don't miss a single video of digital ministry goodness. And now, let's get started. Church practice to lean into number 6. Open your membership beyond location. So while we've been physically distant, many of us in 2020, a lot of us have been able to continue to maintain our interpersonal relationships through digital means. This means, thank God, many churches have been able to be church online and remain connected to their community through the internet. What's really interesting about all this is that location is no longer a prerequisite for membership. I mean, we don't have to all be within a certain number of hours or miles or minutes in order to be a community together every week. We can do this from across the country, across the world even, as long as we remember to connect either at the same time over various time zones or just through other digital means. This means you and your church might have connected with people outside of your location throughout this pandemic, and maybe even connected with old members who could no longer attend your services once they moved away, but now that everything's online, why can't they be a part of your community? This is all very important to keep in mind, especially as we kind of lean, hopefully, on the outswing of this pandemic, like leaving it in the past, when we're on the other side of quarantine, perhaps. Don't forget about these people. These people are a part of your community, have been for months, and now we need to figure out how are we going to maintain these digital connections, this digital opportunity that we have, and yet perhaps begin being in person once the pandemic starts slowing down again. Embrace this opportunity of the internet to share your message beyond the walls, beyond the community of your church, because this internet thing is not going away, and these people deserve to be connected to and to continue the relationship they've established with you. So don't leave them behind once this pandemic is perfectly a thing of the past one day. Church practice to lean into in 2021, number 7. Invest in your digital ministry presence. Now, church leaders, churches, don't always like to spend money, and we get that. There are budgets, and sometimes there are lack of budgets, but sometimes investing money, spending money on something is the best way to show that it's valuable and invest in, truly invest in the future of that thing being part of your church. So whether it's a particular ministry, or in this case, your digital ministry, so your whole church just being online. Can you lean into that a little more financially in 2021? This could be some software that you need to make what you're doing easier. This could be a subscription service that, again, makes what you're doing easier, provides some content for you. We have put out an Advent and Christmas social media pack, and now recently we just made a video about our Christmas image pack, which is just Christmas and New Year's posts, a couple questions, that sort of thing. So you don't have to create any of the content. So that's something we made, but there are a lot of other awesome digital ministry companies out there trying to help church leaders just like you be church online more efficiently, save you time, save you energy, and make what you do easier. So make that investment now if you can, or consider it for next year if possible, because this pandemic one day will be a thing of the past, but digital ministry does not become a thing of the past along with it. Remember, we already said that. So invest in it now, find something that works well for you, and then as you continue to figure out what in-person and digital ministry might look like in the future, you can use this tool to make that process much easier for you. Church practice to lean into in 2021, number 8. Help your people understand social media. If you really want to take digital ministry with you through the long term here with your church, you can't do everything yourself. And you don't have to do it all yourself either. You shouldn't be putting yourself through that. One of the best ways to take what you know, your knowledge and your experience, and make it expand beyond what you can possibly do by yourself is to share it with those around you. Whether it's other staff, whether they're volunteers, or maybe even you contract out some help just so that you're not doing every single thing. Share what you know, teach them how to use social media. Remember that your people want to make a difference too, and if you make this you talk this up as big and important, right? And maybe you try to make it a little engaging and just show them that this is their way of doing church now. they will want to be involved too. Maybe not all of them, but at least some of them, hopefully. Invite them in, invite them to be admins on your Facebook page, give them leadership roles and opportunities to make mistakes along the way, give them some of that power so that they can try and fail and succeed in time, but at least it gets it off your plate and other people are trying to do digital ministry out in the world. You can also have some trainings online for this sort of thing, whether it's on Zoom or Google Meet. Get people together that are interested in this, explain how to do a couple of things, and record those trainings so that people that later want to jump on board, you could send them that video and just say, here's everything we talked about in the first training. Try to catch up. If you need any questions, we can talk after that. This just like keeps the cycle going. It keeps more and more people circling in. The more people you have doing this work, the less it is on any one person. It's not just one person or 2 people or 3 people bearing this load. You can all share certain aspects of this digital ministry goodness. Church practice to lean into, number 9, video. People continue to prefer to use video form when consuming content. Now, this doesn't mean books are a thing of the past, or thank God. But when it comes to an announcement, and if, let's say, you type a long thing out on Facebook, you're gonna have much more interaction and engagement, likely, if you post a video of you explaining it in 2 minutes, 3 minutes, than you would if you typed it out in paragraph form and stuck it online. People just enjoy connecting with people face to face rather than reading through long things of information. So this could even go for your devotions. Let's say every day or every week you want to put out some kind of like church leader devotion. Now, you could type it out and send it out in an email, but I'm gonna bet you're gonna have a much better engagement rate if you take a video of yourself and you throw it out there on your social media platforms. You can even send it through email if you prefer. Yes, this is more vulnerable on your end to actually be there on camera, perhaps making mistakes along the way, but it's also more authentic. It's more real for your people, and they're gonna be able to like listen easier and actually take in what you're saying much better. There's lots of ways that this can play out when it comes to church. It could be just you showing up on Instagram or Facebook stories once a week, just to make your face out there and let people see you. It could be if you send something like a written announcement or a written communication to your church. It could be that you send a video too, so that you can either read it or you can watch this video and get the same information. It could even be that rather than just having your singers sing online for worship, you actually see them, like a video of them singing along. So it's just a little more real. It brings people with you along the way. Again, there are many ways to utilize video as a church. It's your charge to figure out which one works best with your community. All right, church practice to lean into, number 10 out of 10 for 2021 is to develop a centering practice. Last but not least, you as a church leader cannot neglect your spirit amidst all of this mess. It is kind of a mess, right? Do you have a personal centering practice? I mean, whether it's centering prayer or meditation, or maybe you go for a walk and you pray. Now, maybe you're one of these highly skilled humans who can like wash dishes in a spiritual state or exercise spiritually, and that's great too. But a lot of us need to actually do something separate than our daily tasks, our daily routine, to center ourselves spiritually. Ministry is an overwhelming thing in general, but when you combine ministry with isolation, with a pandemic, like a crisis, and also just learning new things all the time, it's just nearly overwhelming. So take the time to develop a practice that can reignite your faith or stir it up, or at least tend to it regularly. We said it last week that you can't care for your community unless you are being cared for, and we were talking about it more in like a mental, emotional way. And while it's true mentally, emotionally, physically as well, it's also true spiritually. So however this might manifest for you, and in general, however your digital ministry in 2021 manifests for you, know that it's important. Move carefully and with intention, because this is so important. What you're doing might be the only way that someone hears that they're loved by Jesus, that them in particular, despite anything they might think is a flaw or a sin or something, a part of their history that just makes them unlovable, you're saying no, God's love is for you too, and that might be the only time they get to hear it online. So today we brought the knowledge of some great practices for you to lean into in 2021. If they were helpful, please subscribe to our channel so you don't miss another video of digital ministry goodness in the future. But now it is your turn to put this knowledge into action. Live it out in 2021 and beyond. We can't wait to see how you do. Peace.